This is the screen that woke the city up at 1:14 a.m. It hijacked every phone, every television, and every radio station simultaneously, replacing the dead of night with a harsh, glowing blue. The broadcast didn't offer instructions on finding shelter or securing supplies. It just repeated one absolute command on an endless loop through the static: do not look at the moon. Before anyone could fully process the message, the power grid collapsed. The streets outside went instantly black. The hum of traffic, the distant sirens, the ambient noise of millions, it all dropped away into a sudden, crushing silence. My younger brother actually laughed. He sat in the dark living room, convinced that some group of hackers had compromised the emergency network to pull off a massive internet horror challenge. Tell a human being they are explicitly forbidden from looking at something, and they will almost always look. It is a fatal vulnerability built right into our biology, an instinct to seek out the exact thing we are told will destroy us. He stood up, walked to the window, and parted the closed curtains. He only exposed himself to the sky for a fraction of a second. The smile immediately vanished from his face. He slowly stepped backward into the room, his eyes locked wide open. His chest began heaving with erratic, shallow breaths. He stopped blinking entirely. He wouldn't answer me when I asked what was wrong. He just kept staring straight ahead at the heavy fabric of the curtains, as if something on the other side was staring right back. Then he whispered, "It moved." The phone in his hand vibrated, illuminating the dark room. The emergency system pushed out a much shorter, desperate update. "If you have already seen it, do not let it see you look away." In quantum physics, observing a particle dictates its behavior. Tonight, that law scaled up to the cosmos. The act of seeing the entity immediately alerted it to our presence. Down on the street, the panic finally broke. Hundreds of screams echoed off the concrete, punctuated by the violent crunch of blind car crashes. And then, as quickly as it started, an unnatural, total silence swallowed the city again. The emergency broadcasts stopped flashing text. They switched to live security feeds from cities worldwide, showing scenes exactly like this one. Massive, densely packed crowds standing completely motionless in the dark. Millions of people, packed shoulder to shoulder in the freezing night, ignoring each other entirely. All of them were staring straight up at the sky, wearing the exact same rigid smile. Look closely at the surface in this feed. The craters and mare are no longer where they should be. The rock has physically rearranged, folding inward to form an enormous, biological human face, and it was smiling back. The moon remained a dead, cratered rock for eons. It only rearranged itself after we collectively turned our eyes toward it. Our focus acted like a key, turning a celestial body into a waking, intelligent face. Every light bulb remaining in our apartment exploded in unison. Glass rained onto the floor as an impossibly bright, heavy moonlight instantly flooded through the closed curtains. My brother began shaking violently. His skin stretched tight over that horrifying grin, and when he finally turned his head toward me, his eyes reflected pure silver. But it wasn't a static reflection. Something enormous was physically moving inside his pupils. The broadcast defines observation as an entry point. Every line of sight creates a physical tether, anchoring our reality to the entity and pulling it into our world. He whispered softly that it was looking right through him. The entity didn't need to break down our door. It was already inside, using him as a lens to map out the room. Closing the blinds and hiding in a dark corner offered zero protection. The entity had hijacked the infected, turning millions of human eyes into a networked biological surveillance system. The television flickered to this aerospace command center. A woman in a military uniform stared directly into the camera, weeping. She admitted their entire containment strategy was a failure. She warned us not to look away anymore. Against a predator of this magnitude, shutting your eyes in the dark does nothing but leave you entirely blind to its approach. Out in the hallway, the whispering started. Hundreds of synchronized, heavy footsteps echoed from the stairs. The elevator moved on its own, stopping at every floor, depositing more smiling, silver-eyed neighbors right outside our door. And then the sky outside turned pure white. A colossal, human-shaped silhouette began unfolding downward from the upper atmosphere. a body larger than continents, extinguishing the stars as it sank toward the surface. As billions of newly opened eyes focused downward on our cities, a soft whisper echoed simultaneously inside every human mind on Earth. Thank you for noticing us. We spent decades beaming signals into the dark, desperate to know if we were alone. We failed to realize that the universe was safely dormant, and our relentless curiosity was the exact beacon that woke it up.